What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of the Red Brand, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the real identity of El Grande Americano, a major return goes down at Smackdown tapings, a former WWE star shuts down return rumors, The Rock protecting his image, RYBACK defends CM Punk, Jey Uso's hilarious botch off camera, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now, as always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good, as number 1, Io vs Ripley is official. Now, as expected, Io Sky vs Rhea Ripley is now official for Evolution. Whilst predictable, the crowd were into this segment, and the match is a strong contender to steal the show next weekend at Evolution. There's been some criticism on social media of Ripley being back in the world title hunt, so it'll be interesting to see if this influences WWE's booking of the match, as they may decide to hold off on a title change. Number 2, new champions. The New Day's reign of terror is over, and in a shocking outcome, the Judgment Day defeated Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods on Raw to win the tag titles, and the crowd erupted for the title change. The New Day's title reign and their heel run has been a total flop. Hopefully the Judgment Day's reign is a significant improvement of what came before. In fact, we hope that it's better than their last reign when they made 0 defenses in like 70 days. Number 3, Rusev vs Sheamus. Rusev and Sheamus delivered the goods last night on Raw. Their match was intense and brutal, and it was definitely a match that warranted a bigger stage, such as a premium live event. Due to Rusev cheating in the match, it now opens the door for a rematch, and there's still a lot of life left in the feud between the two real-life friends. Number 4, At Last. And the main critique of Gunther's first world title reign was that he never interacted with the upper echelon of WWE names. Thankfully, that has now changed. During his promo segment last night, the ring general was interrupted by Seth Rollins and even had a confrontation with CM Punk. This is the exact way to book his reign, and hopefully matches versus the likes of Rollins and Punk are on the horizon very soon. Number 5, a custom briefcase. Now, it's always welcome when wrestlers debut a custom Money in the Bank briefcase, and Seth Rollins did just that on Raw last night. Rollins' black and gold briefcase looks smart and stylish, and WWE are already selling official replicas, which will no doubt sell out quite quick. Number 6, LA Knight's push. Now, LA Knight is finally out of the Bloodline vortex, and the former US champion returned on Raw last night, attacking Seth Rollins in the process. Knight will now take on Rollins at Saturday night's main event in one of the biggest matches of his WWE tenure. Whether he goes over or not is probably a different question. And a chaotic main event. Raw was main evented by Penta and Sami Zayn versus Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. Now, it's awesome to see Penta receive a main event push, and he's excelling in the role. The match was exactly what you would expect from these 4 wrestlers, and with Jey Uso reinserting himself into the storyline to close out Raw, WWE are slowly building up faction warfare for WarGames once again. But that was a good. What about the bad is number 1, too much too soon. The WWE continues to have an issue with having too many shows to build up at one time. WWE have both Saturday night's main event and Evolution next weekend, and they only have 2 editions of Raw to build both of these. WWE are now acting like Evolution is this major and significant event, yet just before Raw last night, it was barely mentioned on main roster programming in any capacity. But at least nothing on the show stood out as downright ugly. Fans are labeling the show as one of the greatest editions of Raw of the Triple H era, and it's hard to disagree. The show was extremely well paced and all of the important matches delivered. What did you guys think of Raw last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now, first story looks at the real identity of El Grande Americano. Now, our top story today takes a look at the true identity of El Grande Americano, who appeared in a backstage segment on Raw last night. Everyone had assumed that the Americano character would be written off WWE television, and this is mainly down to Chad Gable being injured, and with Gable being the only one who played the Americano character, well, supposedly, it wasn't reported or remotely implied that the character would be reused. However, that has now changed. Last night on Raw, Americano appeared during an American Alpha promo, but something was just a little bit off with this El Grande Americano. He seemed taller, and he'd definitely been working on his posture. Some may say that this didn't look like the previous El Grande Americano at all. This was a totally new one. But who's this mystery man, you ask? Well, it's none other than Otis. No wait, it's Ludwig Kaiser. I mean, you could definitely see the striking similarities, including the chiseled chest, but more than that, if you look on his right arm, he has a blemish on it. This blemish is also seen on Ludwig Kaiser. But you also may be asking, well, Ludwig Kaiser later appeared with a beard. Well, that's the beauty of makeup or even any prosthetics that could have been placed on his face, leading you to thinking that he'd shaved off his beard, but in fact he didn't. Now, Kaiser has been off WWE programming for some time, but he's also appeared in backstage segments during American Alpha's promos. So if you put two and two together, well, you get Ludwig Kaiser. Now, even though some are upset that this is now Ludwig Kaiser's role on television, at least he's got something to do rather than nothing to do. You just know in a few months' time at SummerSlam, we're gonna get an El Grande versus El Grande match and see who's the real El Grande like they did with Sin Cara or The Undertaker. Next up, a major return goes down at the Smackdown tapings. Now, following Raw last night, WWE would tape this week's edition of Smackdown. This was done so talent can have July 4th off and have a full week off following a hectic travel schedule this past weekend. Now, due to the show being taped and spoilers leaking, it wasn't expected that anything major would go down on the show, but WWE had other ideas and some major things happened. Now, the following does contain major spoilers for this week's SmackDown, so be sure to check the description for the next story. Now, on the show, Drew McIntyre finally returned to WWE programming to confront both Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. McIntyre will now face Randy Orton next weekend at Saturday night's main event, and other matches taped for the show include Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso versus the New Bloodline and the Wyatt Six versus Johnny Gargano, Berto, Montez Ford, and Chris Sabin. Now, another key return occurred on the show, as also Trish Stratus returned and challenged Tiffany Stratton for a match at Evolution PLE next weekend. WWE would then make the match official for the big show, meaning that the two world title matches for the show are now set. Next up, the Evolution card has been revealed. WWE are slowly but surely putting together the Evolution PLE match card. Now, as things stand, these are all the matches confirmed for the show next weekend. Again, there are spoilers ahead if you skip the SmackDown story. JC Jane vs Jordan Grace for the NXT Women's title, Io Sky vs Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title, Tiffany Stratton vs Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's title, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez vs Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus two teams to be confirmed for the Women's Tag titles, and a Battle Royal with the winner getting a title shot at Clash in Paris. Next up, WWE confirmed WarGames return. Yesterday, WWE dropped the official poster for Survivor Series. Now it's been confirmed that they will be bringing back the WarGames concept once again. All of the top names are currently advertised for the show, including Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and even John Cena. A lot of the fans were hoping that WWE would take a break from the concept this year, as some feel that it's run its course. However, WWE evidently see a ton of value in the concept and don't have any plans to retire it anytime soon. Next up, a former WWE star shuts down return rumors. Saraya aka Paige has been rumored for a WWE return ever since her AEW exit. In fact, there have been rumors that she could even return at Evolution next weekend, as this would be a fitting way for the former Divas champion to return. With that being said, Saraya was recently interviewed by the Orlando Sentinel, and according to her, she hasn't had any contact with WWE and she'll be likely taking a step back from pro wrestling this year. I haven't had a conversation with them. I know I was always getting tagged in everything. As soon as there's a mystery going around, they're like, hey, she's coming back. But no, I love the WWE, but no. It feels good to take a little break from wrestling and then see the outpouring of love from people saying they want me back. I just want to get my feet wet outside of wrestling for a little bit and take care of myself this year. It's consumed me my whole life. All 32 years of my life has been wrestling, so I just want to find myself a little bit outside it and next year maybe come back. Now, this of course could be a huge red herring, yet Saraya seems pretty adamant on staying out of the squared circle in 2025. Knowing how WWE superstars try and put off rumors, could we expect Paige at Evolution? Next up, The Rock wants to protect his image. A WWE Unreal is set to debut at the end of this month and allow WWE to give fans an unprecedented look at the inner workings of the company. According to various reports, The Rock is said to be featured in some capacity, and according to a new report from Post Wrestling, The Rock's influence extends beyond just appearing on the screen, as his team provided input to ensure his portrayal met his set standards. This was likely done in the episode, which will focus on John Cena's heel turn. We all know that The Rock was the key element of Cena's heel turn, then disappeared from WWE programming like he never existed. WWE would have struggled to present this in a positive light, so the final boss likely took issue with how WWE explained how and why The Rock cut ties with the storyline. Next up, John Cena shares a scary fan story. A WWE champion John Cena appeared on The Breakfast Club this past week, and Cena shared a terrifying story of him getting followed by numerous people, and Cena had no choice but to confront the individuals. I got followed by 3 or 4 people a few nights ago. I'm in the car and I'm like, told a driver, change lanes. 3 cars change lanes again. Alright, pull over. The guys pull over, they come out. I'm like, dudes, get out of the car. The third car, the guy is standing there. I told my wife to stay in the car and I'm like, guys, come over here, get out of the car. I said, what you're doing is wrong. You know that. CENA would go on to say that he offered the group autographs, but he stated that if they stalk him, he's going to involve the authorities. The driver of the car is like, yeah, I know. I said, okay, listen, you want autographs? I get it. You didn't get a chance to get it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sign your stuff, but please, you know what you're doing is wrong. Just get in your car and turn around because we're about to be in a position where I'm going to have to take a step that's going to put everybody under a microscope. If you stalk me, I have to involve the authorities. I don't know how that's going to go after that. Here's what you want. There have been vocal calls from sites such as Fightful and PW Insider for WWE to protect talent, and PW Insider even released an article urging WWE to take talent security measures seriously or else a tragedy is going to occur soon. The reputable sites doing this is great to see, as incidents involving stalking and fans going too far, including even doxing Roxanne Perez, are all becoming too common, and WWE needs to take some accountability. Next up, a hilarious botch goes down after WWE tapings. Now, after Smackdown had finished taping last night, Jey Uso would celebrate Cody's 40th birthday with a cake. Hilariously, Jey would drop the cake in one of the funniest videos of the year. The two definitely found some humor in this, and it was great to see this moment as it wasn't featured on camera. And finally, RYBACK defends CM Punk. Now, our final story today takes a look at hell freezing over, as RYBACK has defended CM Punk. Punk has received a ton of criticism for appearing in Saudi Arabia, but one man who's defended him is his arch nemesis RYBACK. And talking to X, the former WWE star stated that although he's had issues with Punk, he's not a sellout. I've had my issues with Punk, but I don't see him as a sellout. He returned to do what he loves and to make money, much like you're doing by writing critical think pieces about others for clicks. WWE is a global business, and working at that level means navigating complex deals, personal beliefs, and public perception. His apology wasn't about abandoning values, it was about how he expressed them publicly in ways that hurt professional relationships. RYBACK has actually received a ton of praise for this tweet, and likely won't be the only ex-WWE talent that defends Punk for working in Saudi Arabia. But there you have it, folks. Our look at Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.